Okay. Um, so we're going to go ahead and get started. And Caesar, if you would like to open us up, that'd be great.
Yes, absolutely. Let me just all right. There we go. Well, good evening, everybody. Appreciate y'all joining us tonight. My name is Cesar Kukufate. I am Small Business Development Manager over at the Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation. Um, Again, thank you guys for being here. So this programming is the Small Business Series course with Austin Tech and Miss Ann Austin, who will be speaking shortly. And this Q&A is just kind of is to serve you guys the opportunity to ask any questions before committing to this program. And yes, answer in the chat, but yes. Um, but yeah, so thanks again for being here. If there's any questions you think might pertain to me in particular, I'll be here in the chat listening in. But yeah, Miss Ann, uh, you can take it away. And thanks again for leading this course for us.
Well, thank you so much, Caesar. I am okay. So we're having a problem with Faye. She says she can't hear anything. I'm just going to reply back to her to ask her to reconnect if she can. Um, Let me see. Is anyone else having any issues seeing the slides or hearing me at all? Oops. Okay. All righty, great. Okay, so we are recording this session, and we've also have a previous one. So we're going to go ahead and get started today. First of all, thank you all so much for taking this time out of your busy schedules to come and visit us today to learn more about this program. I am truly excited to have this partnership with Cesar Kukufate and the Prince George's County Economic Development Center and to share with you the type of program that we have for your small business. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started so that you guys can see me. Here I am. So, just a little housekeeping. Right now, as you saw, we had a little trouble with someone having audio. If you guys are having issues with any type of connection, just disconnect, reconnect, or send us something in the chat to let us know, and we will do our best to see if we can help you get the information if you happen to miss anything tonight. We're going to be going over the benefits on why this program is important to you, why it's important to the community, why it's important to Prince George's County Economic Development Center. We're going to go over key dates that you need to remember so that you will know exactly what you need to do to be part of the program. If I am talking too fast, please let me know, raise your hand, ask me slow down. We're a small enough group that we can actually um, take yourself off mute and you can actually ask me a question when we get to a break in some of the stuff I'm talking about. Please don't be shy at all because this is your opportunity to ask questions, right? So this Q&A is for you guys. We're also going to be covering the registration for the course itself and what the requirements are going to be to make sure that you are able to get like course assignments and things like that. And then we're going to go over what exactly is the small business course. And just so you know, if you see my video freezing, it's because I'm going to another screen to click on something, but I'm right here. We're going to go over the course. We're going to tell you exactly what it is and how it's going to help you. And then I'm going to give you a reminder on how to register and just give you an opportunity to ask whatever burning questions that you may have. And also, in addition to all of that information, I have on here one of my special presenters, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., who's going to be working on branding and sales, branding and marketing, and he's going to kind of give you some perspectives on what you're going to be learning in the class when he is in there, and he's going to give you other insights that he feels that could be helpful in you making a decision to be part of this course. So without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so the Prince George's County, and it looks like I got a little typo right there. The Prince George's County, program has been in existence for a very long time, and one of the programs that is active for the last few years that I've seen is the Grow Prince George's program, which is managed by Caesar Kukufate and his team, which focuses on minority, indigenous businesses throughout Maryland and specifically in Prince George's County. So by them investing in me, I'm a small business owner, I am investing in you, right? So I'm spending the time to put all this great stuff together to help all of our fellow business owners really be successful out there. Um, we are in a desperate time right now that we really need to strengthen what we have already started. So if you already started a business, if you already have a business concept and you've been kind of doing a little bit, this is the time now to really dig deep and to really invest in that time. And you'll hear me use the word investment a lot because it really truly is an investment that you're going to have to do, right? So, how does this program help our community? By investing in me and in me investing in you, we are investing in our community to get our businesses online, to get us in brick and mortar businesses and acquiring the funding and resources that we need because now we're showing that we are a viable business that is out there ready to do the work, right? And we incentivize. So, I mean, I know you hear it and see it on, we got a hot mic out there. I know you see it on Nextdoor app and social media, how we're tired of the same old type of businesses and the same old neighborhoods. Well, this is your opportunity to change the narrative. If you have a service or product that you can bring to your community here in Maryland that can, potentially help someone on a different level and scale, this is the time to get that kind of help, right? So, this program will benefit us in so many ways, but it all starts with just coming to the course and learning what you have to learn and just going out there and doing it, right? So let me introduce myself because you're like, who is this lady, right? So my name is Ann. I am the CEO and founder of ALSTNTEC, and I have been doing this type of work since, I don't know, God knows, 2005 or even before then. I have 25 or more years of consulting experience, specifically around business development, workforce, career development, branding, marketing, and also information technology is my other skill set that I do all the time. And like everybody out there, I love being a small business owner. I can do the best of both worlds. I can work for someone and also be my own boss. And I really love that, right? Um, I am the first creator of this program that I started more than 10 years ago. My program has been metamorphed in different areas throughout the county and other states as it become popular, but it is the only course that you're going to find that is so holistic to a startup and a small business owner for someone who really needs to get all their pieces and parts to be successful. So it is the only program out there. So I invite you guys to take advantage of that. These are a list of the different organizations whom I've partnered with over the last 10 to 12 years. I've done everything from workshops to sessions to teaching classes to you name it, in person, doing quick little things to doing a whole series. So I've gotten a chance to meet so many people, including our young adults who are coming out of school, who are also looking to start a career or start a business. So this is the scope of my experience. So I want to let you know that you are definitely getting somebody who really understands what you're trying to do and has the expertise to help you with that. So this is just a screenshot of our core competencies and our mission and our proven niche in the market of where we started and where we are. We pretty much started off just doing desktop publishing. I was literally in IT at the time, and it looks like we got another hot mic out there. Okay. All right, let me just go ahead and mute Miss Karen there. Okay, so we we started off with general desktop publishing, doing business cards, all that type of stuff. And what I realized back then was I was a small business. I wasn't thinking about that at the time. I was actually thinking I need to make money to pay for my bills and take care of my family. It was really, cut and dry for me. But as I kind of went out there and realized what I was providing, it turned into a need. And then I realized that I needed to know what I need to do to become a small business owner. And it was very challenging. The information was not readily available as it is today. And even so, it is still so confusing because there's so much of it. There is no one place that I could go to say, this is what I need to do. So as you can see, over time, as I developed my business, I kind of went out there and did some things, partnered with some folks, got exposure, and started other different products and services that turned out to be very successful and was a really defining moment in my career. And when COVID hit, like all other businesses out there, um, I lost my office. I lost my staff. COVID really did a number on me, just like all the other business out there. But you know what? You got to bounce back, right? You got to figure out how to reinvent yourself and get back out there. And that's what it's all about in business. You're going to have your high and your low points. And so, with this opportunity with Prince George's County Economic Development Center, this is another way for me to get back out there with all that's going on today. So I want you guys to be this successful as well. And if that's not enough, since I'm now stopped talking about me, right? Uh, take a listen to the testimonials that we have out here. We have so many people. These are just a few videos. If you go to my website, whenever you have a time for maybe 2 or 3 minutes to listen to what they have to say, they will definitely tell you their experience. These are honest opinions right after the class of how they felt about it. And if you have any questions for me about what you're trying to do before you make a decision, you can also reach me on my website as well. Okay, so let's get into, we have somebody in the waiting room, so we'll let that in. Yeah. And we also have Caesar's information in the chat as well. So if you need to reach out to him as far as like the initial sign up. So here's the thing, let me explain. Okay, so we have two major classes happening this season. Okay, so we have one cohort that's going to start literally next Monday. And then we have another one that's actually going to start in February of 2026. We are taking 16 students per class, depending on the popularity. We might be able to stick some extra folks in there, but we need to know who is dead serious on getting this done. And when I say dead serious, I'm talking about, are you hungry enough to start this business? We're not looking for people who just want to get information. We're looking for real people who want to start real businesses so that the Economic Development Center can help support those businesses. Okay, so if you are in this class tonight, on this Q&A tonight, and you filled out the initial sign up form, then you are good on that part. Okay. If you want to be considered for this class, you need to click on this second link down here, or go to my website, go to our services, and click on the PGCEDC student registration. That is your registration to be interviewed and considered for a seat. The initial form that you filled out to be here tonight tells us about your business, and hopefully you gave us some good information about that. But if you want to be considered for a seat either now or in February, then you need to fill out this orientation form, which is the first one here. That's highlighted, okay? You can go there right now. You can go there, write it down, and go there after you listen to this entire presentation so that you can make a decision, okay? Now, with that said, because this is the last Q&A, okay, it's going to feel a little bit rushed because this is the last Q&A. We are going to be, or at least I'm going to be, calling each and every person that has sent me in an application. Okay, that means I'm going to call you on the phone. I'm going to ask you questions about your business so I can get a feel of what you're trying to do and how you're trying to do it to see if this is the right fit for you. Some of you, it could be a perfect fit. Some of you might need additional services or other type of services depending on your business and how far you are into your business. Okay. So that helps us develop more programming for you. So I just want to make sure everybody has set that expectation that I'm going to be giving you a call to each and every person that has filled out an initial orientation form, which is this first one here. And if you have registered for your business that matches up, you're still going to hear from me regardless. Now, I'm going to make selections. Me and Caesar, we're going to look at all of the entries and we're going to make a determination who is going to be in the first and second cohort of the classes. And you'll get a notification by November 7th. Okay. So you have until the 5th to register for this class if you are dead serious. Okay. So we're going to give you all the requirements tonight so that you'll know, and you will see this slide again. So if you missed it, don't worry. We're going to come back to the slide again. Okay. Does anybody have any questions so far? Okay. I see someone has their hand up. Go for it. You could,
Good evening. This is Larry Clark. I just want to make certain that I understood it properly.
yes.
So I initially filled out the link to, I guess, to register, and then I received the email back saying that for some reason my email address wasn't carried over from the initial form, and I was sent to another link that brought me to this Q&A session here. I guess I want to make
Yes.
certain that I'm clear.
You are good. You are good. If you have both of these forms filled out, you are good.
Okay. I don't recall doing the second form though.
Okay, so if you registered, like if you went and you saw PGC EDC student registration and you saw all this stuff about non-disclosure and code of conduct, that's the
No.
actual registration for the class.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen that one. Okay.
Okay, so that's the one that you will have to go to. And I understand. And the reason why there's a tiny bit of confusion because both Caesar and I have been kind of using different methods to capture folks who are interested in the class. So some people may have missed the form and some people may not have. But if we select, even if you registered and you came tonight and we chose you, the only reason why I chose you because I talked to you on the phone. I know what your business is doing. I have your phone. We can look at it. If you didn't have your phone, I have you fill it out. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So
don't
I should
worry.
expect
Don't
a
be
call from
scared.
you. I
We're gonna
should.
get that form.
Okay, so I should expect a call from you then. Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna expect a call. You're
Okay.
gonna expect a call.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so don't worry. Any other questions? That was a great question. All right. Ms. Darlene said, uh-huh. Yep, that's a good question. Okay. All right. So here we go, guys. Okay. You must be a U.S. citizen, live in Maryland or Prince George's County, either one, but you got to be 21 years or older. Okay. We need people who can be, responsible for this business. It is not a game. Owning a business is a huge responsibility. So we want people who are of age that can do this, right? We already talked about the application, which is your official registration for me, not the Economic Development Center sign up, but that's your official registration that you want to be in this class. Okay. You have to be able to attend all 10 weeks. Okay. I can't stress that enough. It is too much information, and we're going to get into assignments and how you're going to turn it in and, what's going to be missed, all that good stuff. And students who are accepted will receive an email from me and a link to the Google Classroom by Friday, November 7th. Okay. Now, the most important thing you need to take away that if you are accepted and you get into this class, you must enter the Google Classroom by Sunday. Why? Because if you don't log into the Google Classroom, it will not see you as a student. So when I release the coursework, and the course book that you're going to need for the class, you're not going to get it. Okay. This is something that Google Classroom does. There's nothing I can do to fix it. Okay. So make sure that you understand that if you get accepted and you see my email, and if you don't respond, I will give you a call. At least, courtesy call, say, hey, but you guys need to check your emails on the 7th. Okay. And then on the 9th, you got to Sunday to go inside the classroom so that it can see you as a student. Okay, classes are going to be held on Mondays from 6 p.m. to 9, and it's going to end on January 21st. Now, depending on if we're able to get 16 students in the class, there'll be 2 nights for the final presentation, which I will talk about a little bit later tonight. But just know that that is your final exam, that final presentation. And we're not going to have class the week of Christmas, so you're not going to have that much to do during Christmas. So that's going to be a whole week long break that you're going to have around Christmas time during the class. Okay, we're going to do it through Zoom, and I really encourage you to use either a desktop or laptop. Try not to use like an iPad or your phone and things like that, because if you're using like an iPad and you have compatibility issues, there's really nothing I can do to help. And this comes from past experience from students using different types of tablets like Chromebooks and things like that, and couldn't, participate in the activities and things like that. You definitely want to make sure you download the Zoom app to your desktop and test it to make sure it works, so that, I can see you, you can see me, we can collaborate, we can interact and things like that. Now, if you are traveling during this time frame, I'm sad to say that my Zoom platform will only connect if you are in the United States, okay? So that is for security reasons. I hold a security clearance, so I can't do anything outside the United States, okay? So just want to make sure you know that if you are traveling anytime during that period, you could be anywhere in the US of A. But if you're somewhere outside the US and you have to be there, just reach out to me. We'll figure something out, okay? But you won't be able to get into the live class during that day if you are outside the US. Okay. Please make sure you're someplace where there's no distractions. Okay. I've had people join from their car at a football game and all these different places. Okay. I will tell you, I'm sorry to say, I will tell you that I may disconnect you from the class if you are coming in your car or at the game, or there's noise behind you and things like that, because it's a lot of information to share, and I want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to learn in the session. Okay, if you are not ready to learn, then you got to be in the class. So you got to be someplace that's dedicated for these 10 weeks. And all of the materials are going to be in Google Classroom. So you can download the material if you would like, but your materials will be in Google Classroom. There will be no uploads there. Everything you're going to need is right there in Google Classroom to make it so easy for you to just do the assignment and not have to worry about emailing and all this kind of stuff. It'll be right there for you. And I will be the only one seeing your assignment. So all the students in Google Classroom cannot see what you turned in. They can't see anything but me. Okay. So that's just for security. Now, are there any questions on the course registration? Nope. Everybody good? Okay. Sounds good. Okay. So why do you want to start a business? Okay. What is your why? Everybody has a why. I pretty much told you guys my why, right? I just love being a small business. I can do so much with small business. I can have it my way, right? Like Burger King, I can have it my way. Some people want to make money. Some people want financial freedom. They just want to be a boss of something. They don't want to work for nobody else. They have a passion because they just really feel strongly about what should be provided to people. They want to solve a problem because they may want to start a nonprofit organization and help the community, right? There is no right or wrong answer. Whatever your why is, that's good enough, right? But at the same time, is it bringing value to your life? Is it bringing value to the customers that you serve, right? Because without the value, it's going to be very difficult for you to be able to make a sale. And that's really all we're here to do, right? As a small business, you want to make money, and you want to make enough money that you can sustain yourself on your own without worrying about anybody else, and to have your own resources. And most business owners kind of go for that kind of road there. So, whatever the why is, make that your passion or what you want to do. Because operating a business is really not that difficult. It really just means that you have to invest in yourself, right? All right, who's writing on my presentation? Who's NA? Who are you writing on my presentation? They're writing on my presentation. I got lines and everything. Look at this here. Look at it. He's just trying to take notes. Okay.
I apologize.
It's
I
all good.
apologize.
It's all, you know what? That lets me know you're listening. That's good. You know what? But look, for real though, I am so serious right now, guys. Okay. You have to invest in yourself. Okay. You have to do the work. You cannot come into a business and say, oh, I'm going to do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, or maybe I'll do this part, but not that part, right? You have to invest in yourself before others can invest in you. Look at the partnership between me and Prince George's County, or me and the Prince George's County Schools, or me and Lidos, or me and M&T Bank. I had to put in the work to get that business, to make that money. Just like you have to get up every day, take a shower, put on your clothes, drive all the way to God knows where to your job, right? You have to put in the work. You have to understand and determine what you can and can't do or what you won't do in this business. And we're going to talk a lot about that, the mindset, right? And it really is a mindset that you got to set yourself to if you're going to do this thing. And even if you're already out there doing your business, have you really invested fully in your business? Do you really understand everything of what you're willing to do in this business, or how far you're willing to go? Have you even considered it, right? Because time is something else, right? Time escapes us every single day. And I always say that you can't control time, but you can control what you do with your time, right? So you got to master your time, and you got to sacrifice sometimes. You got to kind of say, hey, I guess I'm just gonna just give up that show tonight because I really need to work on something that's due 2 days from now or something. Doing the work. That's what you gotta do. And of course the rest of them is self-explanatory because I'm gonna use all the adjectives, right? So determined, dedicated, realistic, intentional. I'm gonna use all the adjectives because I am so dead serious about my small business. It will literally scare some people, right? Because I really do believe that you reap what you sow. If you prepare and do the things that is going to set you up for success, you will see success. And a lot of people are not going to understand that because you are the owner, you are the driving force for your business. And you have to surround yourself with people who have the same drive, the same mindset that you do, right? So you got to invest. So how are we fixing? How is ALSTNTEC going to help you, right? So I said all of that. So what am I going to do? Well, first I had to identify the core issues. And the core issues is that, sometimes we just don't have the right knowledge or even everything that we need to know going in, right? So the class is designed to help you understand from step one, what do you need to know, all of the information you need to know before you start putting your name on legal documents or trying to go out there and get funding in your name that you can't pay back, or trying to provide a product or service to a customer that you can't guarantee, right? What do you need to know, or what do you think you're missing in your knowledge? That's the first thing. Because without that, you can't fully realize everything your business is capable of, right? That precipitates to failing within the first 1 to 3 years of your business because you're all over the place. You're not really understanding what you need. You don't have what you need, and you can't get no funding because your personal credit is kind of jacked up, or your business credit is not mature enough, right? And you can't get no money for marketing. You can't get exposure. Social media is not doing it for you. TikTok, Instagram is not doing it for you. Word of mouth is not doing it for you. And next thing you know, you didn't gave up. And the worst thing that happens is we don't get out there and network with people. Okay. Leroy is going to come on here soon enough and talk about how important that is, because without networking with other businesses, you are out of business. And that's a true fact, right? So what we're going to do in this class, we're gonna help you understand the full scope and breadth of your business operations, and we do that through the business plan, through mentoring sessions when you talk to me, to really just understanding what it is that you're trying to do on a broader scale than what you've been doing. Right? We're going to help you figure out what resources does your business need in order to start and maintain. Okay. A lot of times we say we're going to go out there and do ABC, but do you often think about all the little things you're going to need to maintain that same level of effort, right? That is the one thing we don't think about, right, as small business owners, because we're so busy in the now, we're not thinking in the future, right? The other thing is we're going to help you with branding, right, and marketing your plan, right, so that you can increase your confidence, so you can go out there and meet those people, right? You have to be able to do that. Okay, so Leroy, are you there, man? Leroy's on mute.
Yes,
There you
ma'am.
go. All right, Leroy,
Mm,
can you just give him a little bit of insight on how important that is on those last two bullets right there?
No, can you hear me okay?
Yep, I can hear you just fine.
Okay. Okay. Just want to make sure my earbuds are working properly. Good evening, everyone. I'll say just about this and what's important for young entrepreneurs to understand is that key point that you just talked about, and about networking. And I'm big on not just networking, but building your business ecosystem, because we're in a day and time right now where that is going to be one of the most crucial points that you will need to be able to have coming out of this program, where you not only get the skill set and you get the resources from here, but the resources that you will connect to in starting your business and growing your business and creating the awareness. Because those there's a documentary that's called The Black Godfather. His name is Clarence Avant. If you have not watched the documentary, I suggest that everyone in this class tonight that you take time out to watch it. It is on Netflix. It is one of the major movies or documentaries that I recommend that every entrepreneur needs to watch. But in this documentary, he says this one thing that has stuck with me. He says relationships are resources. So the relationships that you have in here, the relationships that you begin to build once you're out of the program and you're beginning to create the awareness and the belief system behind your business and your brand, is going to be vital, because those relationships are going to allow you to be able to navigate and to be able to move, to be able to elevate, to be able to kind of step aside and kind of move here, move there, and all those things. So it's going to be crucial that you actually gain that, and that'll be one of the things that we do discuss here in the program, in the sessions and everything like that, because it's the brand awareness is going to be how you'll be able to be able to grow and expand. I was on a phone call earlier today with one of my business partners that we were talking about. Hey, where do we need to be? How do we create even more awareness? How do we expand? And we talked about that very thing, networking with those that we already know, those that we need to kind of be in the room with, and knows about that. And then the third thing was being able to be in places that will allow you to be able to talk about your business, be able to talk about the problem that you solve, and then the results that they will gain from working with you in creating the answer to their problem. So that's the important. What was the other one, Anne? I know you talked about networking and
Yeah, no, you actually covered both of those two
okay,
bullets. So I just
cool.
put in the chat window the Black Godfather, which is what
Yeah.
you were talking about on Netflix. And yeah, it looks like when I look at my phone, it actually came out in 2019, actually.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna have to
Hmm.
check that out myself. But thank you so much on
Yeah.
those points. Does anybody have any questions to what anything that we talked about on this one? All right, we're gonna keep it moving then. Okay, so these lines are gonna follow me. Okay, I see this right now. Let me see if I can erase this thing. I'm not sure how. Well, we're gonna keep it moving. Okay, so what is the small business strategy
My
course?
apologies.
Oh, it's all good.
I
It's,
see them
it's
too.
almost like artwork, so it might be creative. Okay, so what is the small business strategy course? Okay, so basically, in a nutshell, it is a real world education strategy platform for you to learn the right way on how to start your business and get technical assistance. It is really technical assistance for your business, your concept, whatever it is that you're trying to start, right? We're going to help you validate what it is you're trying to do, because the very first thing we need to do before you can even try to make money is just understand if your business is viable. Can you make money doing the thing you say you want to do, right? So we need to find that out. And we're going to get into business planning. We're going to get into all kind of operational strategy planning, all that kind of good stuff. And it's not going to be super difficult. It just takes a little bit of effort on your part to just come to the class, learn what you got to learn, and just do the assignments, right? The whole point is to help reduce the number of failed business. I can't tell you guys how many times I've had students come to the class with businesses already registered either through LegalZoom or some other method without all of the legalization pieces that go with it, without proper business licenses, without paying their taxes because they did not know, or because they did not think that that information was readily available to them, right? So we don't want you to be part of that statistic. We want you to be successful. So we want to make sure that you come in here with an open mind. You're gonna get information from me. You're gonna get information from YouTube. You're gonna get information from everywhere, right? So use this class as an add-on to what you already know. Even if you've been in business 2 or 3 years down the road, if you feel like there is things that you are missing in your business, then start from the basics. Come back to the basics, learn all the things that you're missing, because that's just going to make you stronger, right? So that is what this class is about. Now, who's it for? Anybody got a concept? Anybody seeking to elevate? If you a home-based business owner, you online, you trying to do Shopify, you trying to do, stuff on Instagram, and you making sales and you want to take it to the next level, okay, that's what this class is for. It's for you, okay? If you are existing and you need certain help, if this class is not the class for you, we still need to know what type of services you need so we can develop those classes for you, right? And that could be anything from funding to government contracting to figuring out a marketing plan, figuring out a strategy plan. There's always options for you to get help, right? We want to help you find different ways of generating money. Okay. A lot of us get stuck on one thing, and then once that thing gets going, we stop looking for other ways to make money, right? We need to make sure you're in the right entity type. Okay. I could tell you that students come to this class thinking that they're LLC when they really should be a sole proprietor, or maybe they are a nonprofit but really should be an LLC, right? What type of business entity should you really be? Are you really sure, before you start putting your name on stuff, right? We're going to teach you how to draft a business plan and how to leverage it. Why is it important? Do you really have to do one? Absolutely, right? You have to do a business plan. There is no big business out here that does not use a plan. From Target, Walmart, all of them, they all use business plans. The companies you work for on a day-to-day basis have a business plan. They may call it strategy plans, national strategy, organization plans, but they're all business plans, right? And then you need to understand, what is it going to take for you to stay in business? Can you bounce back from your lows and your highs, right? Can you do all that you can do to have longevity, right? That is what we want to do. All right. And I can't stress enough, if you come into this class, you got to have an open mind to learn it. You can't come in here and say, oh, somebody told me this, so you must be wrong. No, where you're adding on to your knowledge. Okay. You can't come in with a negative attitude. You got to come in positive. So what is the feature? What are the features of the class, right? So the features of the class is that for 10 weeks, you get live instruction. So you get me live every single Monday from 6 to 9. And throughout those weeks, I'm going to bring in people like Leroy that's going to come in on specific sections of the class that's going to cover certain topics. That's part of the business plan, right? They're there to give you real world information on what you need to know for that topic. So, for example, if we are talking branding and marketing, Leroy's going to come in and he's going to teach you how to brand. He's going to teach you what you need to do to promote. Okay, and between the two of us, if we're talking payroll and the class, depending on who's in the class, if we have more people that's having brick and mortar, that's more likely to have employees as opposed to just kind of starting out, then I may bring somebody in here that will talk about payroll. Okay, that may talk about how do you pay employees and set up stuff for a payroll account, and where do you go that's going to be more affordable for you, right? Those are the type of things that I need to know about your business so we can tailor it to you, right? And we already talked about the business plan. So each week we're going to go through each section of the business plan. And before you know it, you already have a draft. You're going to be so amazed that you got this plan, okay? And even if you have drafted something in the past, you still will benefit from this class because you never know. You might learn something different that you didn't know the first time, right? You also get two 1 hour consulting sessions with me, and these are designed for like longer time. So you would get mentoring. So you have 15-minute mentorings you can schedule with me anytime in the week that you want to talk to me. Well, not anytime, well, Tuesdays and Wednesdays mostly is when the mentoring is. But you can talk to me and let me know, hey, I have a question. I'm having issues with my homework. I'm having problems. If you want me to spend an hour to help you devise something, to work with you on something, you have 2 consultation sessions to use at no additional cost to you. The company pays for that. Okay. And so all the other things are just extra bonuses that you would get in the class, understanding operation tactics. We go over everything from insurance to government contracting overview to, business to business stuff. You name it, we're talking about it, right? And not only that, you get to connect with different people in the class who might have what you need. You would just be surprised. I've had people come to class and either partnered up or maybe they decided to work together because they both had something the other one had and things like that. It just was a great experience overall. So you get to be exposed to other people who are striving like yourself, right? And you get to grow your business in confidence because now we know that you're out there. Now we could develop more programs that's going to help incentivize you, right? So those are the key features that we're having here. These are the different concepts that we're going to be talking about throughout the whole 10 weeks. As you can see, the first one is concept development. We're going to be hitting that kind of hard, just understanding what your concept really is so that when you draft your plan, that you know exactly what you're going to be developing, right? We're going to talk about leadership, team building, motivation. We got to make sure that you are motivated and understand exactly how you're going to lead this effort that you're doing. A lot of people have ideas about leadership. But when you're a business owner, it's a little different, because now you're looking internally to yourself. And so it's a little bit different when you are owning the business, right? We're going to help you understand your personal credit. Okay. We're not asking people to talk about what their credit status is, but we're going to talk about how you're going to build your own personal guarantee. So when you are ready for financing to grow your business, your credit is not an issue. Okay. So we're going to help you and teach you what you need to know about how to build your credit. Okay, and actually, we're going to have another presenter, Ken Alazier, who's going to be joining us too, about how lenders look at your credit to consider you for funding. Okay, so he works from businesses from like little to massive. Okay. We're going to talk about sales. How do you make a sale? Okay. How do you get people to come out of their pocket and pay for what you are providing? How do you get lead generation? How do you get leads that are to your product so that you can sell to them and hopefully turn them into a paying customer? What do you need to do that? Right? We're going to help you understand bookkeeping. We're going to help you understand how your taxes work as a small business. Um, there's a lot of information out there, but in this class, we're going to basically tell you when you an LLC, you are going to do this. If you are sole proprietor, you will file that. Okay. So that's what we're going to be talking about. And all the other stuff is really just going to be additional information to help you strengthen your stability in your business. Okay. Any questions on this list at all? I see some bubbles, some heads, and maybe a lot y'all thinking. Okay, all right, all right. All right, now these are our presenters. You already met Leroy McKenzie Jr. We have Sharon Lewis, who is our personal finance and money coach. Okay, she's also an insurance expert. Okay, her job is to come here and help you understand your relationship with money so that you can start building your personal wealth. Okay, and between the two of us, I'm going to teach credit. She's going to teach personal finance building. And between the two of us, we're going to help you reshape your thinking on how you feel about money. Okay. Now, when it comes to money, the other guy, Ken Alazia, that I mentioned, he's the guy that you're going to want to talk to, right? So when you want to keep all three of these guys as your resource, because Leroy can help you with branding and marketing, Sharon can help you with your personal, and Ken can help you get funding. Okay. So these are the top three presenters that you're going to have in this specific session. And I may bring in a couple other people depending on who's in the class, what business types are in the class, and what is needed at the time. Okay. All right. Anybody have any questions for Leroy since he's here about branding? Okay. If you think of some, he right here. All right. I see a hand up. Come on, Larry.
So for this course, do you suggest or recommend entities that are already established or proof of concepts or essentially startups that are in the minds of us as I guess the creators? What do you recommend for this course?
Well, I'm recommending all three
Okay.
because I'm pretty sure that even established businesses may not have all information, or maybe when I say all information, I mean other pieces of information that could be revealed to them as they go through this process. It would not hurt to do it
Okay.
because as a small business owner, you're working and working and working. You're not looking at your business plan a lot. You may have like, hey, let me just do this lean version of a business plan, but may not have thought about all these other things. So I think that any business that has already been established, if you're finding yourself struggling on some level, you should be in the class to at least take this part and then build upon it. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Is that helpful?
It is. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, great question. Okay, so these are the potential outcomes that we're aiming for this class. Number one, again, stressing, validating that concept. Okay, that concept has got to be tight. We got to figure out if that concept is going to really make you money and for how long it's going to take for you to do that. Okay, there's some concepts that are very quick, and then there's some concepts out there that will take some time, right? So our job is to help you understand what it is you need to put in your business plan so you can fully understand what it is that you're going to be providing and how you're going to do it, right? The other ones I want to point out here is helping you understand who your customer is, okay? Marketing to everyone is not marketing to your customer. Okay. Marketing to everyone is to find your customer, is to find the person that identifies and need what you have and solve that problem for them. Okay. So that means demographics. That means understanding where and how much money do you have to promote to people, right? Because we know marketing and advertisement, that stuff is very expensive. So you don't have a lot of money to be putting out in all these different places. So we're going to teach you how to find your demographic market. The other thing I want to point out is learning how to protect yourself as a small business owner. Okay. And I'm not talking about just having personal insurance and things like that. You know, we're talking business insurance, we're talking cybersecurity protection. Okay, we're talking making sure that people do not fraud your business. Okay, which happened in COVID, which is why the SBA and the Maryland State Assertation, well, I can never pronounce that word, the SDAT site had changed all of their rules around pertaining to legalization of small businesses. Okay, so we need to make sure that you protect yourself, okay? And even against other customers and other businesses, okay? So how do you protect your trade secret, you know, and how do you protect your brand? You know, that's really important. How to find relationships and understanding where other opportunities are, from sponsorships to grants to partnerships to joint ventures to all this kind of stuff that you can do with another organization, right? So these are the key outcomes that's going to help your business grow in this class, right? Okay, so we're getting down to the last few slides. So we care about your success. So here's the part that everybody seems to not like, but I love it. And I think at the end, they end up loving it, is every student will need to do a final presentation. So what is that? So at the end of the 10 weeks, after you've learned everything you learned in this class, everybody will be doing a business pitch session for about 20 minutes. Okay, so in that presentation, you're going to give a description of your business. You're going to explain what it is that you're doing and how you're doing it. I'm going to give you a template actually that's going to have certain topics that I want you to explain about your business. So now, a lot of people may not want to share their business venture on a recorded session. So for this session, I do not care if you make up a business. You can call it Merry Little Lamb's business and make it do whatever. The only thing that me and Caesar were concerned about is if you learned the concepts in the class. When you're working on your business plan, however, the only person that's going to be helping you with your business plan is you and me. No one else will see your plan. Caesar won't see your plan. Nobody else won't see your plan, but you and me. Every student who has registered for this course has signed a code of conduct, a non-disclosure and confidentiality policy when you submitted your application, which governs the secrecy of your trade secret, my trade secret, and everybody else's trade secret. Okay, so when you do your final presentation, you can use any fictitious business that you would like to do. The only thing I care about is, did you learn the concepts? Are you ready to be responsible for a business because you understand how it's going to work, right? So you can use Mary Had a Little Lamb, you can use whatever you want to use for your final presentation. The second point I want to make about this is if there are 16 students in the class, the final presentation will be held on 2 nights, okay? Because we'll have 8 on one night and 8 on another night. 8 people, 20 minutes, that's a lot of presentations that you got to listen to. And everybody is required to attend so that the person who's doing a presentation can get feedback from everybody else, right? And plus you get to hear all the different ways that people are presenting. How is this helping you? Because one, you're getting speaking experience. That's the first thing. Secondly, you are just giving Caesar the opportunity to hear from you directly how capable you are with running a business. And then third, it gives you self-confidence that you can do a business pitch with almost anyone. This is really virtually a business pitch, and that's really what it's going to be, right? So as you can see, this young lady, this is a real student, this young lady in this picture here, she actually stood up when I had my office and did a final presentation. And everything's going to be virtual, so you don't have to drive anywhere in person or anything like that. So you'll be able to do it in person. And it's going to be recorded. And the only person that's going to see this recording is me and Caesar. That's it. Okay, it's not going to be published anywhere. You don't have to fear that somebody is going to, be having your recording, because they won't. Okay. So I just wanted to put people's mind at ease about that. So does anybody have any questions? Look like Faye, I see you have your hand up, or let's see. I thought I saw somebody with their hand up. Okay. All righty. So this is your key to success, right? So as you can see, I've talked about all of these bullet points here on the slide here. I've actually talked about this in multiple different ways. But the one thing I want you to take away from this specific slide is two things. Your level of effort is really important here, okay? The business plan is a very serious document, right? This class is very serious. So your effort is paramount in this class. I'm not expecting people to be perfect writers, but I am expecting folks to at least put some effort into what they're trying to write so I can fully understand what it is you're trying to do and give you that guidance. If you're not going to do that in this class, then, it's going to be kind of hard for me to help you. And I want to be able to help the people that are in the class. So just come with your best effort to try to do your best. And if you need help, your mentoring sessions are available to you, right? The second thing is surround yourself with like-minded people, okay? The one thing that will kill you in this class is if you are getting distracted with other things that is not a priority, right? You got to make these 10 weeks your priority to make this happen, right? It's going to go very, very quickly. Before you know it, week 5 will be here, week 10 will be here, and the class is over, right? So love people from a distance. Say, hey, I have to focus on this class. This is really important to me. I will see you in 10 weeks, right? And people will understand, right? But don't try to incorporate folks that is going to keep you from your goal, okay? And that's just with any project that you're working with. Try to have folks that's going to support you, sit down and help you work with you, that's going to listen to you and really try to offer some real solutions so that you can make it forward, okay? And just have fun, because I love having fun in class. I'm laughing and giggling all the time, cracking jokes all the time, okay? So this is just what I love to do. Okay. All right, now look at all these people, guys. Look at all these people. This is just some of them. They are in the class, okay? They can do it. If they can do it, I know you could do it, right? Leroy, come on now. Tell them. I mean, they think I'm kidding. I'm just saying is that they could do it. I mean, you can attest to, your experience also.
No, absolutely. And here's the thing. Everything begins with your mindset and your belief. And as Ann says, if you come in with the right mindset and with the right belief that you have in wanting to be able to do it and putting in the work. I'm gonna say that again, putting in the work. I'm gonna say it one more time. I don't think y'all heard me. Putting in the work. That is gonna be the most crucial part of you believing in what you do. If you believe in what you do, then you do the work. Michael Jordan didn't become who he was because he didn't believe in the work. He believed in the work. Kobe Bryant, same thing. Magic Johnson, excuse me, Reginald F. Lewis. All of these individuals, they became successful because they believed in the work that they had to do. And that's what it is. And everyone that Ann has a picture of on there, they believed in that work, doing the work too. When you do the work, the results come. The results will come. I ain't gonna say it'll be easy, but the results will
No,
come.
no, it's not gonna be easy. But you know what? Success at the end is gonna be well worth it. It's definitely been well worth it for me. I can't even tell you guys how grateful of the experiences that I've had. I would have never been able to like meet the people and just be just gracious enough to be in folks' presence that even want to hear what I have to say, right? So trust me, at the end of the road, it is worth it, right? So what is the value right now? The value is this class is 100% free. Okay. You can't beat that. Okay. And if you're outside of, of this program because you just didn't make it and you still want to, join this class, there's 30% off, there's discounts. You can still get in this class. Okay. There's nothing stopping you. But if you're a federal worker like man and the furlough, other than that, there shouldn't be nothing stopping you from being in this class, right? You can get your questions answered, okay? There is no extra cost for mentoring and helping with your business plan, right? And you're going to do this better, smarter, and faster. And like the words of my friend, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., you're going to go into 26 better than you were in 25, okay? Because that's what he says, and I believe it, right? Look, don't let this opportunity pass you, okay? You guys saw my email, or I'm pretty sure some of y'all saw it on Nextdoor. This is the last one until February. We might advertise again, depending on what's going on. But if we get all 32 students out of this, then, that's it. You're in the class. Okay. So make sure you're doing it. So again, last time, if you guys are ready to move forward after hearing everything that I had to say and everything Leroy had to say, if you're ready to register for the course, you go to the website and go to PGCEDC student registration. Make sure you have both of those registrations filled out on the website so I can understand what your business is. Starting tomorrow, I'm going to be making a lot of phone calls. I'm going to be talking to a lot of people because I really want to hear from you. I want to know what it is that you're passionate about with your business. Okay. I want to make good selections. I really want people who are serious about their business. And so, therefore, by putting in your information, you're throwing your hat in the ring. Okay. And just because if you do not make it on this one and you don't make this cohort on the next one, trust and believe if this is successful for the people that's in it, you're going to be on the waiting list for the next cohort. This is not over. This is not the end, right? There are always options. So don't feel like, oh, it's too many people. Just put your hat in the ring. You just never know, right? So get your registration in by the 5th. I'm going to be making calls and notifying people by the end of this week. And those who are accepted need to be in that classroom by Sunday so that I can see that you're in there and issue you your coursework and all of that. Okay. So let's look at the frequently asked questions that maybe people may have. Okay, so what happens if you miss the registration date? So if you missed the 5th and all of that, just contact us, okay, as soon as humanly possible. If you do not get into that classroom by Sunday and the coursework goes out, you're at risk of not even getting the assignment. Or if I don't even see you in the classroom and I've reached out to you and you don't respond, then you're going to be considered dropped for the course and I'm going to call somebody else on the list to take your seat. Okay. I have to say it that way because this is a once in a lifetime opportunity for those who want to be in this class because the county is sponsoring it. You guys know if you live in Prince George's County how rare it is for people to get this kind of help. So I can't stress it enough. If you miss the 5th, you need to contact us so that you can get interviewed or get considered. If I approve you for the class and you do not enter the classroom and you don't respond to my email or phone calls and things like that, then I'm going to consider you dropped and then I'm going to call someone else to join the class. Okay. So just so that people understand that. Now, if you can't join the class in November, there will be another one in February. So again, we're trying to see if we can fill 32 seats for these classes or the next year's cohort. If Caesar allows the class to be coming back again, then it'll be the 26th and the 27th class, and your name will be on that list for consideration. So please do not withdraw unless you feel like you don't need the help. Now, can you protect your business thing? As I said earlier, everyone who filled out the registration has filled out and agreed to the non-disclosure agreement and confidentiality policy. So if you come into the class, please be respectful And do not share or disclose anyone's business ideas if they choose to share, as you would not want that for your business. And also be mindful and respectful of my business, because I am going to be sharing a lot of my own experiences. So I want to make sure that my business is also protected. But we just want everybody to come in and build those relationships from the beginning, right? Okay, why is it 10 weeks long? Because actually, this course should really be like maybe 20, 30 weeks long, but we're doing it in 10 weeks because we're trying to do it in a way that's simpler, easier, and much better for you to be able to get the concepts you need to start. And then anything you need after that could be done in other services. Okay, so we want to make sure you thoroughly think this through. Okay, what type of assignments will you get? Okay, so you're going to get a course workbook that's going to have all the assignments and activities in it. We're going to have weekly engagements live. We're going to be having weekly discussions. There's going to be some videos that you're going to need to watch to help you reinforce your learning and also to help you with certain homework assignments and things like that. And because we're kind of going week by week, there's going to be little time for you to do makeup session. And when I say makeup session, I'm talking about going through the whole entire like course lesson and all of that. Depending on which week it's on, I may send you over to a video that may have been recorded for that specific session that has the same information to keep up. But if I don't have a video, then you will have to defer to the course book, maybe call me up for a 15-minute session and to kind of answer some questions so that, you can do your homework assignments, right? All righty. Now, are your assignments graded? Absolutely, right? Every single assignment you do is graded. So again, this is a real course that you will find in any institution out there. And the reason why it's graded is because Caesar needs to understand what it is you know and what you don't know, how well you know it, and what your performance is, right? This is how the organization, EDC, is going to determine if this program is successful. That's a requirement, a contractual requirement that I have to provide to them. So it also includes your attendance. It includes when you're late. It includes all those things that pertains to your attendance and your grade. Okay. It will not include any personal information such as your business plan or anything that we have talked about in mentoring. Will not include that detail of information. Only your performance. What happens if you miss too many classes? So if you're missing like maybe 1 or 2 classes, that's not bad, right? As long as you're keeping up with the assignments, as long as you're not having any issues, you can miss 1 or 2 classes. They're not all going to be recorded. Just know that, right? So if you miss some critical information, what I would suggest you do, you may want to partner up with someone in the class to make sure that if something was said that you needed to know, that you get that information, or you give me a call to go over certain things in your mentoring session. Okay. But if you're missing classes and you're not doing the assignments and you're not answering my emails and phone calls, you're going to be considered dropped from the course. Okay. And whatever grade you're at the moment, that is your final grade. Okay. You won't be invited back to the class. You probably won't be able to attend the class after that once it's determined that you have dropped from the course, okay? Because we have to have fairness across the board for those who are attending, and we need to make sure that we keep that standard, that level of standard across the board, okay? So please, if I give you a call me back. Let me know your situation. If you have a death in the family, or you have a certain situation that you need a reprieve from that week, all you have to do is just let me know, and we will work it out so that you do not miss a step. Okay. So, and the final exam, which is the final presentation, everybody's required to do it. Okay. We can't have students that don't want to do a presentation. Everybody has to do it. That's this bullet right here. Everybody has to do one. I did have one student out of, I don't know how many students I've done, where she came to all of the classes and said that she wanted to come and not do a presentation. She has to do a presentation or she fails the course. Okay. So that opens up for any other questions that you guys may have on anything that I shared tonight. And I hope you guys do consider joining the course and putting your hat in the ring. Or if you still have doubts, if you have concerns, you can, reach out to me or Caesar directly. I'm an open book right now if anybody has anything that they want to talk about. Yeah, see, Larry got his hands up. Come on, Larry.
Sorry for all the questions. I just want to understand.
Oh, no, you're
So,
perfectly fine.
so let's say if you're one of the fortunate ones to be selected to be in this course, and
Okay.
you made it through, you've done the assignments, you've done the work, you've developed a business plan. Are there additional resources that you or the county will provide to then take this proof of concept to hopefully get it up and running to be a legitimate, viable business once the course is over? Or is it kind of once the course is over, we're kind of you kind of take that knowledge and pretty much apply on your own?
So that is a great question. So when I was contracted with the Housing Opportunity Commission of Montgomery County, I offered a 3-month mentoring to a bunch of students who graduated from the course and needed further assistance. Okay. Unfortunately, mentoring is one of those things that it's a hit or miss. Some people like to be mentored, some people don't. They just kind of go on. The way I kind of feel that it went over the last 8 years with that program is that most students prefer to have those resources during the class. So when we doing our mentoring session, you need to tell me, okay, we're going to start talking. This is when you have to really be open with me about what it is that you are lacking. And then I'm able to say, okay, let me go and get this license information. Let me go and get this business information. Let me help you figure out where to go. If you're open with me about what it is that you're trying to do, then it'll help me help you better.
Gotcha.
Right. A lot of times what happens is they go on with the rest of their life after the class. And then all of a sudden, mentor becomes the back burner. Not that they don't want to talk to me. It's just they have other things, other priorities happening at the time. So I will be asking folks throughout the class, what do you need me to help you with? Right. And someone asked me in the last orientation, what's the number of mentoring sessions? So mentoring is on Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock, and they're in 15-minute increments. Now, if you happen to miss Tuesday and Wednesday and you just really need to talk to me, you can send me an email and I will schedule a call with you. Okay. If the Mondays in class don't work, either before or after, or Tuesday and Wednesday don't work, we can always have a quick phone call. We can have a Zoom session. We can have a Google Meet. You can ask your question in the classroom and I will respond to you. I am highly responsive. But if you don't talk to me, then I can't do anything. I'm helpless, right? Did that answer your question?
Sure does. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right, Darlene, go for it.
My question is, when you talk about grading the assignment, is that more of a pass fail, or you grade the assignment and then you get more feedback to make it better?
That's exactly right. So it's not a pass or fail. It's more of a grade that you turned it in, and then I'm grading you on your level of effort. So there is no fail in the class. Once you turn in your business plan, let's say you did section 1 of your business plan, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to read it, and I'm going to give you tips on what to do and what to say or how to say it better or something. And I might even ask you a question or two, and it'll give you an email and say, hey, Ann Austin has given you a comment in your business assignment. You click the link, it takes you to your business plan, you'll see my notes, and then you respond back, and then I get a notification that you responded, and we go back and forth like that. And as it goes on, you'll start having more updates, more updates, more updates. So if you don't turn it in, you know it's going to be a 0, right? But if you turn it in and it's worth 20 points, you're really just earning points as opposed to an A and a B. You're mostly getting like 10 points here, 5 points there, And I can tell you that those who kept their points up they got incentives for me. They got like a free web development class through Wix. They got some of them got free legalization assistance to help them legalize their business from me, which is a $225 value. Some of them came to my networking events and was at a vendor table and made money. Some of them, it's those type of things. You gotta incentivize me, right? you gotta you gotta you gotta stroke my ego a little bit, to get those incentives, right? And besides, who knows? Caesar might be developing stuff in the background. I don't know. But if you got to come to the class and show me you really want this, right? Because I really want it for you, but you got to talk to me. And I can't stress that enough. I had people come in here and be dead silent, darling. I mean, just dead silent. Don't say nothing, don't do nothing. And then they expect for me to give everything, right? It doesn't go like that. So yeah, if you come in and you do the work, you earn 5 points. You do get 20 points here, 30 points there, till all of a sudden you got 83, 93 points. You cooking with gas. I know you serious. Now I'm gonna be like, okay, what can I do for these people? Yeah, because I
Thank you.
want you to get those resources. Yeah,
Then another question real
yeah.
quick. The last presentation,
Mhm.
was there a reason why it's not in person anymore? Because you
Well,
said, I mean, the
it's
night you
not in
had, they were
person.
in
Well,
person.
I used to have it at my office, but COVID took everybody out. I mean, I held on to my office, Darlene, for 10 months. And it was incredibly difficult. Nobody was buying nothing because everybody was infected with COVID and dying. So I had to give up my office. I had to give up my staff. I had to go back to the virtual, and just so happened, HOC had contracted me to come back to help them in 2018, and I literally stopped that contract like in 2024 and took a year off to take care of family. Yeah, so it lasted a long time. It was pretty cool because I was able to get back. I started off virtually and then everything was in person. I even did it at their location. If Caesar wanted me to do this in person, I'll be doing this in person too. But we decided to start off virtually. Maybe he'll do it next time in person. That'd be great. It is
Thank you.
different
Thank
in
you.
person though. Yeah. All right, who else out there? I see all these names and y'all all quiet. What y'all in there washing dishes? What y'all doing? What y'all doing? Are y'all there back there? You got Cassandra, you got Stephanie, Chantel Seeds, you got Karen. I see you here. You got questions? Paula, Celine, Faye P. Okay. I'm calling names. I'm taking names. All righty. So, Leroy, did you want to add any closing notes before we end the night? Because I know everybody's getting like tired of listening to me right now.
No, well, yeah, I do. I just want to, just kind of emphasize everyone. You want to take advantage of programs like this. I mean, Ann mentioned, and she's humble, so she's not gonna say it, so I'm gonna say it. But this is definitely one of the best entrepreneurship programs that are out there. You're gonna come away with, and I'm big on clarity. You're gonna come away from this program with clarity. You're going to be walking out into this dog eat dog world right now, with for entrepreneurship. And yeah, I am trying to scare you. And trying to scare you because if we scare you here, then what you going to do when you get out there and the real world starts to really happen and everything. So yeah, it is a program that I call it transformational because it will transform you from the chaos that you may think that you're in. And like, I don't know what to do here. I don't know how to get there. But you will walk away with clarity with the business plan, even and understand about the business plan. That's a living, breathing document for you. It's not a one and done. It's not a, oh yeah, whew, I'm done with that. No, you
Yeah,
will constantly and consistently be dealing with your business plan. And even if it's not a business plan, it will be a business model. So it's one of the two,
right.
business plan or a business
Yeah,
model. That is what you need. And you will come away out of this program with that. And that is a strong thing because there's a lot of people out here trying to do this entrepreneurship thing all willy-nilly. And and
yeah.
it is not to be done willy-nilly. It is
No,
very serious. I mean, it's game time. Businesses are are coming, they're starting, and some businesses are closing too, and that's real.
Yeah, that's
That
real.
is real. And Ann's program puts you in the position to keep the doors open and
Yeah,
your
and you know what?
sustainability.
If this program really helps you understand how you, and we're going to get to Alicia's question. This program really also helps you understand how to use your own skill set that you've used for other businesses, to start something. Even if, like me, I like being in a situation where I can work full time and still run my business in the afternoon. I can be an employee and a boss at the same time. And with the skills that I have, I could be an IT consultant, I could be a project manager consultant, I could be anything, right? But you got to learn how to leverage your skills and abilities to provide a platform of value to someone who needs it, right? And that is the beauty of being a small business owner. Right now, we got so many people who are unemployed and they're all looking on how they're going to make a paycheck. I want you guys to turn it into how you're going to make a business to make a paycheck. And that's what I want you guys to look at. How can you sustain yourself through this time if you had to rely just on a regular employee paycheck? You know, how you going to bring money in the door any other way, right? And I tell you, I met Leroy almost 10 years ago when I was first doing this stuff. And the first book that he talked about at Dr. Joan Henry's event was How to Write a Business Plan and being a leader. And I walked up to him and I was like, hey, give me that book right there. I want to buy that book. And we've been friends ever since, and that just goes to show you that relationships can last a lifetime. We have done so many workshops and stuff together, Facebook stuff, all that kind of stuff, because he is like literally out there in the masses. Okay, so I'm gonna shut up and let Alicia talk. 'Cause I think Alicia Walden had her hand up for a minute, so I'm gonna let her ask a question.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. I
No
have a quick
problem.
question. I have a nonprofit, but I'm interested in how to kind of transform that or add to kind of monetize it. And this course help kind of identify those things like if you already have something, but you want to take it and scale it up, and make money from that. Is that something you all would help with as well?
Yeah, so ALSTNTEC does do that. I think that depending on how far along you are and how established you are, it's going to determine if it's this program you need or whether you need a different program that's specifically for nonprofits. So, like, I also have a nonprofit organization. So, you got to figure out how you're going to apply for grants, what do you need to do to qualify? Because right now, getting grants is so difficult. Okay, you really have to put a lot of your own resources in before anybody would grant you anything. I mean, not even $500 these days, right? So that is a very technical type of strategy that you have to do when you're trying to monetize a nonprofit organization. But if you feel like you're missing some stuff in your nonprofit that belongs in your startup, then this class will be for you. Okay. Meaning, so like, let's say, for instance, did you know that you may need to have certain bylaws? You may have to meet certain IRS codes. You may have to sign up with Maryland's Prince George's County Nonprofit Organization. There's a checklist out there that you have to meet. That if you don't know those type of things, including legalization to trade name to trademarking to all that, if these are things that you are missing in your business profile or how to properly market, then this class is for you. But if you're already established and you're already, having those things going and you're just specifically looking for funding options, then that is a totally different scope.
Thank you. No, I definitely need to scale up. I can't. I think Dr. Leroy mentioned not being willy nilly. I don't want to be and am not willy nilly, and so I want to shore it up, so that I can kind of launch a larger net. And so I just wanted to just ask that. Thank you so much.
No problem. So, Cassandra, I'm gonna answer your question. So, yeah, I was actually my office was right next to the Prince George's County Chamber of Commerce, and I had my application ready to go when COVID hit. And I did not go back and do it because when you go to the Chamber of Commerce, all of their businesses are going to start flooding to me, and I have to be able to take on that work. But when I lost my office and my staff and everything, there was no way for me to do that. So for me to be, a small consulting coming back into after, because I took a year off too. So I took a year off to take care of sick family member, also another member who had passed away. And so now I'm sort of coming back. Yeah, at some point I do need to connect with the Maryland Chamber of Commerce, the Black Caucus, all of those different Chamber of Commerce organizations that connect businesses together, right? So those are critical in order for me to grow, right? Yeah, no problem, Cassandra. Okay, that's a great question. Okay, all righty. Anybody else? Okay, y'all looking real serious right now. Y'all looking, who gonna ask another question? I can't. Well, you know what? I can't wait to answer all your questions in the class. So, again, look out for my phone call, my email, so we can schedule time to talk. I know a lot of you have put in there the preferred time to talk, but what I'll do is probably reach out through an email, schedule time to get on the phone for maybe 5-10 minutes, talk to you about your business, get you all squared away. And I'm definitely excited to have met each and every one of you. And again, there's plenty of resources out there. I'm just one of them, and you can always stay connected. You can follow me on Facebook and LinkedIn. I'm highly on there. Just look up Ann Olson. You'll find my little nice picture up there of me. Yeah, absolutely, Larry. You can speak to me after the class. Yeah. And Stephanie has a question. She got her hand up. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to confirm. Can you confirm that I've registered for the class? I thought I did, but I just wanted to make sure.
Okay, I can just check real quick. I can check real quick, like. Yeah, that's a great question. Okay, PDC submission. Only takes like a couple clicks. Okay. What's your last name?
Maxwell.
Matt. Yep, I see you there.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Looking forward to it.
She making sure see, that's what I'm saying. She making sure she letting everybody know. Look here. If you ain't registered, I am, okay? I'm just letting you know, okay? Don't sleep on Stephanie, okay? Don't sleep on Stephanie. She already put her seat in. She already told me she in this business. See? Okay, let me see. I got another person to ask if she already there. Okay. Oh yeah, I got yours too, Miss Williams. I see you in there. Let me see. I see this one.
Thank
Okay,
you.
wait a minute. Let me just double check this other one. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right one. Okay, I see Miss Williams in there. Let me see Miss Stephanie. I'll check her again. And she already told me she in the class anyway. So, all right, Miss Stephanie. So it looks like, just to double check, I think you should just go to that PGCEDC link on my website and just go in and just fill that out real quick.
Will do. Thank you.
Stephanie, yeah. Okay. Looks like Miss Williams beat you to it then. Okay, I got everybody checking. Okay, I got everybody. Let me see. All right, I'm gonna put this link in the chat. And I don't care if it's the second one. So I'm gonna put this link in the chat right here. This one right here. This is the link you need to go to register for the class. Okay. So even if you filled it out a second time, if you're not sure, fill this one out. That is the actual student registration. That's the one with the code of conduct and the confidentiality. That's the one that I'm going to be calling you on. Okay, Paula, she said she filled that out. And Caesar has put his information in the chat box. If you have any outstanding concerns about this program through the Economic Development Center, please reach out to Caesar Kukufate. I'm gonna get his name right. Caesar Kukufate. That's his name. Right. My first name is actually Anissa, but I like to be called Ann. That's my middle number, like AAA. Anissa Ann Austin. Right. But anyway, guys, I have made myself some soup with some potatoes. some, I'm gonna tell you, if you ain't try this soup, y'all. Get yourself some beef broth, some chicken broth. Get yourself some either Jimmy Dean sausage or Bob Evans sausage. You cook the sausage with some onions separately. What's your favorite seasoning? Then you take your beef broth and chicken and your potatoes and onions and you cook it again. And let me tell you something, you have the best protein packed soup you'll ever have in your entire life, man. Let me tell you something. That's delicious. That's what I'm eating tonight. I don't know about y'all, but that's what I'm going down with. I'm throwing down on some soup tonight. But if you have any other questions, guys, please feel free to reach out. We're always here. And with that, I'm going to say good night, except for those who want to stay on. We're going to stay on for a minute. I think there's a couple
Thank
people.
you.
You're welcome. You're so welcome.
Where that cornbread at? Gotta have some cornbread with that.
Now
Thank you so much.
you gotta have club crackers with that. You gotta have club crackers, the original club crackers with this soup.
Yeah, that's good too.
You will lose
All
5
right,
pounds just eating this. I'm telling you right now, you will lose weight eating this because you get the unsalted or low salted broth, and you don't add any other salt. Okay, you will lose weight. Look how slim. When you see the videos of me in the class, guys, you're gonna realize how big I was. I lost 140 pounds. Okay, so you're gonna lose some weight. Mhm.
nice.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good
Okay.
night.
All right. See ya. All righty.
And I won't hold you. You answer my question. I'll just fill the
Okay.
registration out again.
Okay. No, you can stay with. Let me see. NH, you have a question? I'm not sure who NH is. What about Celeste? Faye P, you got a question? No. Okay. Let's see. All righty. Hang on 1 second, Larry.
Okay.
All right, go for it.
Oh no, yeah. I was just gonna see if I was on the list, so I didn't fill the form out again twice. That's all. But I can fill it out again.
You
Enjoy
sure?
your, yeah, enjoy your dinner. I don't mind. That's perfectly fine.
Oh, that's all right. I already had some of that food earlier. I'm just gonna go for second and thirds.
There we go.
Well, you
Thank
have a good night.
you too. Thank you for everything tonight. Appreciate
All
it.
righty, you too.
Take care.
All righty.
Bye.
Hey, Caesar, how was that?
Hey, that was good. We want to stop recording?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna